but I think we're good this time. A couple of technical difficulties. Anyway, yeah, I'm here with Teayoualtertater, who's been on the server since God, July of 2019, which was last year.
Yeah,
And so we're in October, so that's it's been a while. Um, yeah, how's it going, T? How you doing? I'm
um,
glad you're here.
I'm mediocre. It's okay.
You're mediocre. I mean, you've been on the
Yeah.
server for a very long time. I mean, you've been a part of every single event that's really ever been a part of Trimbo. So, I mean, let's get started just talking about how you kind of started on the server. Like, so I remember you mentioned you haven't played Minecraft for a while before you started here.
So I forgot my Minecraft password, so I gave up playing Minecraft for like 12 years or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I have a new gaming computer and I could play Minecraft again. So I dug up my Minecraft password and started again. And I wanted to play a more community-based experience, so
Hmm.
I looked on Reddit for some like BS rinky-dink server, and this is the one I fell on.
So you didn't start off on survival. You just went straight for
No,
just look for community.
I did a couple survival run-throughs, and then I did more of like creative builds, but then I got bored because nobody could like give me what I needed as an attention-seeking person, so
You joined
huzzah.
you went for looking for a community.
Mhm.
Right on. And so you found Trimbo. So how did you find it? You were looking at like the back of the forums or whatever, or what was that? I know KCal mentioned that.
Reddit.
Reddit, right on.
I was looking at like the semi-vanilla
Oh,
or
so
the vanilla.
you were just at the right place at the right time.
Yeah. I went through a couple other servers before Trimbo, but none of them they were they either had like too much like BS on the in between, so I don't like the like the mini games or like the
Yeah,
extra stuff. I just want Minecraft.
just straight Minecraft. And so you joined my server. Do you remember how that went? Like when you first started? What was the experience like when you first joined?
I kept dying because I couldn't play Minecraft.
Wow.
Like I didn't know how to like actually play Minecraft until like 2 months after I rejoined the server because when the last time I'd played Minecraft was before there were even like different woods.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Back
that's
in
like
like
a hot
beta.
minute ago.
Well, I remember you joined and you built your house and it was like it was kind of far away. It wasn't far away. It was behind
Mhm.
Spawn 1. And um I do remember when you first started, you were playing it was around the same time Local Lena started. Ish, kind of. But
She started about a month afterward.
I remember you built your house and I built kind of a little trail sort of leading to your house and I built like a single block wide bridge that kind of went like it was kind of diagonal and it went to your
Mhm.
house. And I remember I don't know if Local Lane. No. I'm not thinking of Local Lane. I'm thinking of Item Store.
Right.
Yeah, right. Okay. Item Store was a player that joined or before you did.
No, they joined after I did, but they
Are,
left.
are you sure? Because I mean,
I'm
they were extremely active on the server. Well, that might have been the reason why I thought they joined before you did.
They joined like maybe a couple days after I did, but I remember them first joining and I gave them a bunch of stuff.
Really? Huh. Wow. Yeah. So you joined and you built that tower house. And I remember when you started building it, I had this idea in my mind. I don't know why. I had this thought that you were this 13-year-old kid who didn't know what they were doing, but you were doing a good job on that build because it was really aesthetically pleasing. And I remember looking at it going, this is a really good build because before you, I had one or two players that were on, and I was really enthusiastic about getting more players. And I saw what you were doing, and it was like, wow, this person is really joining my server. And so that's when I I remember taking you on like a tour of my server. Like I showed you the path, you know, and I showed you where the side, that like side town village thing I built, where the villagers are,
Mhm.
the villager statue. And I remember like asking you, "What do you think so far?" And you were like, "IDK." I was like, "Okay, well, whatever. See, I showed you my whole server, and you're not impressed, so whatever."
I made it impressive.
You did. There are some there are a few like I know I remember there were times where I would fly through the server and I'd find a house and I'd be like, "Wow, this is really really good." And I'm looking inside of it and I'm like, "Geez, this is like the I don't know if somebody lives here or whatever." And and I inspect it and then turns out you were the one that built it and I was like, "Huh, no shit." That's happened multiple times. You and Nymphadora were both really good at build. Nymphadora, who doesn't play on the server anymore, who was a moderator, um, she was an admin though, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's admin.
She's not an admin anymore. After like 2 months of her not being active, I kind of took that role away from her because I didn't think she was gonna come back. But yeah. Anyway, so you kind of got on like so you how did tell me about your integration into the server? Like what made you stay? What made you stick around?
Uh, an active community, I guess. Because there's like, at the time, there's like a handful of players like Lamb, Loco. Um,
There were a
I
few
think
others that
Axel was
don't really play anymore, but Axel was on at the time too.
Axel, Donut, Deadly. Like they would all get on a lot more frequent at the time.
Yeah.
And what is who was the other one? I mean, Item Store was there too in that
hmm
little like village he
And
had. The
his and
couple
his
players.
group of people, yeah. Item Store had a group of people that came on as well. So we had a okay. And we another thing is there were players that were active at the time that like I can't even remember right now because they just haven't been on. I haven't seen them in over a year.
Hmm.
So
I mean, there was somebody else. I think
like
he had
human
like
um
that
he,
one guy with the Deadpool skin.
that was Donut
No,
Don
Deadshot.
Deadshot.
He built that
There's Dead
stupid
Whiff.
cube thing that's close to super close to where my tower was.
Your what? That
He
what thing?
built this. He built a cube or a little square thing super close to my old
I
like
don't
tower.
know what you're talking about. Is that
Well,
the hmm, that's
it
interesting.
looks like a maze or something, and there's water in it and all sorts of other BS. I mean, it looks just like a hodgepodge. Like you dumped like your inventory of Minecraft blocks into one strange
Um
build.
Interesting. But yeah, we had a lot of different players on back then. And that's kind of why you stuck around. That's what you're saying. That's why you stuck around.
I mean, there was that feud me and Xeron had. That
Oh
was fun.
yeah, Xeron. I made the mistake because Xeron was on. He was really active, and I made the mistake of making him admin
I mean, he
because I was looking
actually
for one.
he
And
actually like rolled back and like moderated and made sure things were running smoothly, but he was also like just as chaotic.
he was extremely chaotic. He always has been. Yeah, that's. And it feels like it's not. He's not only chaotic, but he's an asshole. Like, he seems really cynical, and he like I don't know. Like he sticks around with the server though, and I feel
Hmm.
like I mean, maybe we're just a part of like 30 or 40 other servers that he has on his Discord or whatever, but we're still there, you know. So I don't know if he's
Mhm.
sticking around because like he likes the community, but you know, like I think that's just a part of his personality, like that kind of asshole-ish thing. Like it's not totally him. Like he's not an asshole as a person, but like that's that's like he's got a little bit of spice to his self, if you will. He's a uh
His humor.
that's just how he is. But it's more than what you need, you know. Like he like a lot of times, like I see him being an asshole, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, you didn't need to say that, you know. Like that's a little far. That's a little bit of hate, you know. Like sometimes he'll post something, and I'm like, ooh, God, dude, you know. But I let it slide, just like I do with everything else.
I mean, it do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I never. The feud with Siron was always like fun.
Yeah,
Like he may have like griefed my builds, but like I don't see a whole lot of permanence
yeah.
in Minecraft, so I don't really put a lot of like
I think he
care.
felt the same, feels the same way too. Like he is just having a good time and he's pushing your buttons a little bit, you know.
Hmm.
And he doesn't take Minecraft that serious. I mean, he doesn't fucking play, you know. So I think he just messes around, you know, like just to have fun or whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, making him an I remember making him admin back in the day, and I remember in the beginning he was pretty good, and then he turned chaotic.
It do be like that though.
Yeah.
That's where my original admin style came from, was because Xeron was an admin before I was.
Really? Is that
I'm pretty
true?
sure he was a
Is that
player
Schnitz?
before I was
Is
too.
he just walking around on the
Hmm.
goddamn table?
He's like a
Can he
cat.
go sit down? Yeah, he is like a
He,
cat. He's like a cat.
do we have a water bottle for him? Just like spritz spritz, go away.
You throw something in the corner for him to play with.
Hmm. I mean, he's got his command block, so I'm sure he's fine.
We have an audience here.
Hmm.
Where did what's his name go? That was gaming left.
Maybe he
Anyway,
needs to go to sleep. He's a schoolboy.
so the timeline we're talking about here right now is July August of like 2019 because
Yeah.
yeah, that was July August was Spawn 1, original Spawn. And then September rolled around. Like, you know, Spawn 1 was really the shortest Spawn. That's interesting to think about. It was only around for like a month and a week and a half maybe. A month and
But
a week and
like
a half.
I we built so much stuff and junk in it that it got too clogged.
It did, and it was a weird kind of clogged because a lot of it was like made in creative mode. God damn it, Schnitz. At one point you add too much stuff.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it did get too. It was like a creative clog. So like you log in and everything there is like clearly built in creative. Like everything that I built, like the whole that whole or like I don't know what the hell that I built. You know,
The Cliffside
the
Village.
Cliffside Village. Yeah, that was all done in creative. Not a single thing was done in survival.
But like your material choice made it up to like maybe you didn't
And
make it in
at
creative.
the time I built it, that's what I thought, you know. But like now that I know a little bit more than even though I've hosted Minecraft servers since 2011. Like it's interesting because Minecraft changes, and it's this. I mean, the server changes, and it's definitely different than it was a year and a half
Hmm.
ago. Like the entire aura of the server. It's not just who was on it. It's how people interact and how the community was back then. Even during Spawn 2 and Spawn 3, there were all different flavors of Trimbo. It was all different eras.
Hmm. And like Spawn 1 had a particular younger player base. Like Loco was like a lot, she was like a year younger, and
Well,
Lamb is also like a
no.
young high schooler. Item Store is a high schooler, but
I mean,
like
that's
they
everyone
were
we're
on the
talking
younger
now.
side. Like KCal is like air quotes, like very air quotes, a mature high schooler.
So,
And like Loco and I were like just like
yeah.
kids, we were just playing, and now it's
The
like
ment
established.
so I understand so the mentality of it was much younger. Like the
Mhm.
server was, I mean, here's the thing is back then I feel like it was 10 times more lenient. It was like this it was like we were a couple of kids in a sandbox, you know? Like we were a
Mhm.
bunch of toddlers who were thrown into a sandbox by our moms and we were just playing around with the toys and the sand that we had, you know? It was just fun, you know? And we had no it was like there was no rules, you know? Because I mean back then I had grief prevention and I had a couple of rules, but the rules didn't really matter because we were all kind of we all knew them and we all respected that. We all just kind of kept going. Somebody joined the Discord. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun back then. I feel like, but at the same time, my mentality was different than yours was 100% because I was wanting to grow this thing and I was focused on fixing it, you know, and I was focused on making it better constantly. So I wasn't really that's the fucked up part is like I wasn't there to enjoy it because I was focused on the future. I was focusing I was constantly focused on having fun tomorrow and I wasn't really focused on the moment. I mean, I was, but when I was doing those things, I was like, I'm doing this to benefit the server. You know, I'm.
Mhm.
It was weird, you know, because I was very focused on growing it, and I feel like at one point during that, it became like Spawn One became extremely stagnant. You know, because I told everyone to go into create. Like I put. This was toward the end of Spawn One. Is I put you. Um, Xeron, a couple other players in creative mode, and I was just like
Well, I
build
got
stuff.
I got griefed really bad, and that's why you put me in.
Oh yeah, in the
You remember
beginning.
when
Yeah, 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 yeah.
somebody literally burned my entire house down? They took all my stuff, and then they like kept PvPing me and like killing me, and then we couldn't get you to like ban them because you were doing something at work. Who knows?
Yeah.
So you put me in creative to air quotes restore whatever I was taken from me. And I was like kind of upset because like he griefed to build like the better iteration of my tower. And I was kind of upset about that because I wasn't in creative. Like losing things kind of means a little bit more whenever you're
Yeah.
not in creative all the time.
And it's interesting because I feel like I really spoiled myself with Minecraft. Like I don't have the discipline to sit down and play it in survival, you know. And since creative came out, like I was basically always in creative. So I don't when when that happened, I didn't go I didn't think twice. I was just like, I'll just put it in creative and you're good. You know, they're taken care of, you know. You know, like and you'll just put all your stuff back and everything will be fine. But I remember at the time I gave it to you, I remember you like messaging me and I was just like, yeah, you're not happy about this. And like now that I see players like I mean KCal and everyone else that plays in survival to be in survival, like when they make survival builds that mean something, I understand that concept. So yeah, like like throwing in creative isn't it's basically just like it's like a lawsuit after somebody dies. Well, no, that's a
Mm-hmm.
terrible concept. I keep making metaphors. KCal tells me not to do that. Uh, yes, you should it takes away from that specialness of playing in survival, and
I
I
mean, I
didn't
still
really
play
realize
in
it back then.
survival occasionally, and
Yeah.
like I have a couple alts, or I'll use like an alt generator to get on the server and play in creative occasionally.
So
But
what?
I mean,
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
it's it's like that. Like I'm not very thrilled with create or survival mode to be perfectly honest. Like occasionally I'll like have the, knack for it. But right now, like, or like typically I just want to like make funny house,
Yeah.
and that's like the extent of what I want to do.
Where do you get your inspirations for your builds? Because you make some pretty
Um,
good builds.
so it kind of varies between build to build. So sometimes I'll steal them from YouTube or
Yeah.
from that Blueprints website for like Minecraft builds.
Really?
But like there's so like the plantation house at Spawn 1, that was completely like no blueprint, no
Just
no
improv.
prior. That was me looking at a photo and being like, man, that looks like it would make a good Minecraft house.
Yeah.
Because I could literally pull up the house that I used as inspiration for that right now. Like if you Google plantation house,
Yeah.
you'll see that house.
Really.
Like that exact house.
Plantation house. Let me take a look.
Like I'll post the photo if I can get
No,
if
I
my mom.
gotcha. Oh, wow. No, I got it. I got it right here. Yeah, your house looks exactly like that with the columns and with the white columns and everything. I see that. No kidding. That's amazing. I like how that's a good way to think in Minecraft is to take inspiration from outside. Like and be like, how do I build that with blocks that are basically a meter by meter long, you know? Did T leave?
Hello.
Hey T.
I tried to open Chrome and Discord.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, whatever.
it's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Like I like how that but still like I like how your mind works like that. Is what I was saying. Where you can take a build from real life and put it into Minecraft. I mean,
I mean,
it's a simple
there's a
build.
couple like that too.
Yeah, but it works.
Like I think it's either the Dark Oak House at Old Swan or it's like lost on the server somewhere, but one of them is like based on some Nordic Viking house that I saw on like a travel magazine.
That's funny. Well, that works. That's awesome. So, another thing that happened in Spawn 1 that was significant, an event, was the ick. And so at the time, I was living with my ex-fiance. We just got these cats, right? Had the server. I was hosting the server like under my desk, like where my feet were. And the power supply to the server, the connection where it was, literally where you plug the standard power cable into the power supply, was
Mhm.
loose. Like if you move it a little bit, it'll just shut off. And that's what was happening. So my cats would go and like lay on the cable or like move the cable or something, and the server would shut off. And that would cause, and if and so yeah, I would turn the server back on. I would start loading the server up, and while the server was loading or while the world was loading, this like my cat would do something, or maybe I would kick it, or something would happen, and the server would shut off. And so that would cause corruption when the server was loading. So different chunks would load in different places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that little like cliff. So if you go to my old base, there's this bridge that goes across towards Loco's base. There's a chunk there that used to be part of that was misplaced, but it was part of Lamb's base at the time. And there
Yeah.
was like sections of his house there that were just like randomly there, and that's the first like indication that I had that something was wrong. And then there was like that stupid chunk that's like in between my house and old like your cliffside village where that trail is, because
Yeah.
like it messed up one of my bridges because I had a bridge to that stupid like nether portal in the mountain up there that you hid for no
Yeah.
reason. Like I could see it from outside. I was like, I'm going to build a bridge there. That looks mildly suspicious.
Yes, I did that on purpose.
But like there's like literally four chunks right there that are like effed.
Yeah. 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 When I saw that, so I logged on. I've back in the day, when I was just an admin on Trimbo and it was being hosted by the other owners, the ones in Belgium and the three guys. I would mess around with World Edit, and sometimes I would copy large amounts of land, like big chunks, like maybe 600,000 blocks at a time, and then paste them in another spot, or do something crazy like that. And that would corrupt the map. Like it would be a constant corruption. So everything you would load, every chunk you would load would be like the ick. It would be from another spot. And it would be all messed up. So if you had a world, it would just be completely corrupted and gone. And that's what I thought happened when I logged on. I was like, we're fucked. I have to start the map over. Well, at least it isn't that old, It was like a month and a half old at the time. So it was just like I was kind of like, all right, I guess we'll just start over. Fucking A. Like I put a little bit of work into this. Um, and then it just stayed that way. And like I was looking around and I was like, there isn't that many chunks that are affected. As I keep on loading, it loads normally. So I mean, why not just keep it and make it into an event? And that's when I asked the server. I was like, what should we call this thing? And that's when you said the ick. You still there, T?
Hello.
Hey.
I'm back.
Did you hear what we were just talking about? What I was?
No. I had to do the funny.
Oh, I see. So, because what was the last thing you heard?
That's a bad question to ask because I never remember that.
So we were talking about the ick.
You were talking about what you were noticing when you first got on after it happened.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I thought it was World Edit, because World Edit used to cause corruption if you if you do large entries, like over
Mm-hmm.
600,000 blocks at a time. And that's what I thought happened. And then I got on and I noticed that nothing was low, like, it was fine. And then that's when I said, we need to name this thing, because there's an event on the server. I'm going to keep the map. And that's when you came in and said, it's the ick.
Mm-hmm.
The ick. And that's when it was called the ick. And I think, do you remember when we started Spawn 2? It was a little bit after that, right?
It was quite a bit after that. It was like 2 weeks,
Yeah,
maybe 3 weeks.
no kidding. Well, why did we started Spawn 2 because we had so many builds,
You
I
wanted
think.
a air quotes fresh start because there was so much stuff going on, and Loco had Loco had left.
No, Loco
Item
hadn't
4
left
had
yet.
left.
Loco hadn't left yet.
What
Loco left October 30th, and we
is either
started Spawn 2 early September. Because she left that sign
right?
that said October 30th. So Loco was still around at the time, but I think she wasn't as active.
She wasn't as active. Item store had left.
Yeah,
Zeron had kind of sort of left.
yeah,
Um, Donut stopped being so active. Deadly was spotty at best.
yeah.
And Axel had stopped playing, so you wanted to re-advertise and have a clean slate for players to build on.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I feel like Axel was not on that much during Spawn 1. He was on a little bit because I remember him being on a lot during Spawn 2 and him being like, "Oh shit, look at what's going on."
I mean, I used to play with him. There's like a couple times where I like remember like giving him things or him helping with me with a build or something.
Yeah.
Like that was the time I was making that stupid farm, the big one that's within those walls, the doorbell. Yeah, it was fun.
Right on. So, we started Spawn 2. I had that path going pretty far, and did you didn't help me build that path at all. Was that how long was that there before that
That
happened?
was there for a very long time. You
Yeah.
used that wand to drag it up there.
Oh yeah.
Now, K-Cal, I think, helped build to spawn 3.
Yeah, he did.
And I know he went from 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5.
KCal was the path maker. So we
Hmm.
started Spawn 2. I threw down the that because we just went all the way to the end. I think that was you because I was trying to I wanted to start Spawn 2 down where the desert was. And you were like, "No, let's do it over here." And you were around Xeron at that time in the Spawn 2 area. And I just went over there and threw down a piece of bedrock and I was like, "This is Spawn 2." And that was the first time I threw down bedrock indicating a spawn because before the Spawn 1 doesn't have bedrock. It has that it's just lava.
Glass lava.
Yeah. Um, yeah. And then was it you that built the rule house?
Yes. And
Yeah.
then you modded it, and I got really angry. Like, why did you mess with my house? And you're like, "Mm."
What do
And I was like,
what did I mod?
you put some stuff on it. I think, like, I had a door, and then you took the door off and made it
Oh
an
yeah, yeah, yeah.
archway.
I made it an archway, yeah. Honestly, I because it's more open, you know? It's like people can walk in and there they are. It's right there, you know? I don't know.
I got butthurt about it.
Aw.
So that's why I bought, or I like built like 5 builds there to like piss you off because you're like, oh, I want some new player to build here, and I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Because I got rid of your doors?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you got rid of my doors, I built like 5 different houses to take up space.
Well, it kind of worked out because Spawn 2 looked really good. I have a video of me building the that stone tower right there in Spawn 2.
Hmm.
And when I was building that video, that's when Super Hammy joined.
Yeah,
And I
I
remember,
mean, Spawn 2 era is like where most of like the iconic players come from.
yeah, let's see, KCal,
Ratchet.
Ratchet. No, Ratchet was Spawn 3. Ratchet was during the Time Warp. So he joined during an era that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Small Patat, or was it? I mean,
No,
Josh.
Josh joined during that time too. Josh
Hmm.
joined, Timmer joined. Gaming technically joined the Discord during that time. Um, yeah, it was a very like tight knit community from different places because we also had I'm Too Fat that was originally like Link
Hmm.
who built the Jesus. We had Nymphadora joined during that time. Um, Yeah, it was interesting. So let's see. I built that tower and then we had the path that kept going and I wanted to build a little bit more. So I built kind of that berry farm or whatever and I
Yeah.
kept the trees to a so there was a few more trees over there and I kept that down to a minimum because I wanted it to seem open and an area for everyone to build and there was that little valley that had that that hangover cliff that
Mhm.
God, who was that joined? She built the Tree Gwen.
Mhm.
Tree Gwen, who built that thing. Valiant joined during that time. Valiant and Miller 14 ITA, 2014 ITA joined at that time. What is going on over here? My God. See this, I'm gonna get rid of an audience, because they just fuck with shit like this. Like, God damn it, like this is what's wrong with the server, like,
This is actually this Rob's server.
yeah, I know, it's just people fuck around. I think that's another problem, like, because people get bored, and like I've mentioned this before, and that's all my fault because I've got to keep my staff entertained too, or else they do shit like this. But at the same time, like when I mention it to people, like stop fucking around, and they do shit like that, it's like, God damn it. But it's Schnitz, so.
What are you gonna do?
Well, he told me to put my foot down with him. I guess I'll just whatever. Anyway,
I mean, you could just put him in your dungeon and like kick him a couple times.
bottom of the microphone, you know, the whole mic, he's yeah, Schnitz is fine. He's a good guy. I just need to talk to him more.
I mean, you do live closer to him than any of us do.
Actually, Yowzers, I believe, lives much closer than he does. He actually lives in
Yeah,
Oregon, out in the middle of the woods. When I mailed it to him, I actually had to send it to like 3 different people, send it through 3 different people because the United States Postal Service wouldn't deliver it to him. It's pretty interesting.
rip.
I think he lives in a bunker, like underground. I don't know how he gets internet.
It's kind of hot.
So, Spawn 2, we had, that's when we kind of introduced the jail system, which is when we had that hanging jail thing.
Mhm.
That's when I really implemented the whole core protect thing, because we started core protect in Spawn 1. During Spawn 1, we had grief prevention, which,
Mhm.
that didn't really work out very well. Um, yeah. I'm glad we got rid of that.
KKO was the big proponent for getting rid of Core Protect, I think.
Core protect now, yeah, he doesn't want to do that. Or
No,
grief prevention or
whenever we had like the grief prevention where you could claim locks,
claim
he was one
lands,
of the
yeah.
ones that he was the one that was like, "This is stupid," and like he was right, but I didn't really care enough to
Did
say
I
anything.
keep grief prevention on during Spawn 2?
A little bit, like the first like
No
week or so.
kidding. I thought I got rid of grief prevention when I got core protect. Huh,
I don't know.
that's funny. Yeah, so and then I'm Too Fat was doing that thing, that building the Jesus with his friend. We had a couple other players get on. And then I started building what I called the Northern Trail, and I just kept on going. Uh, and then I know K-Cow, I think he built, no, no, no. He built a bridge. No, I did all the trail to Spawn 3. And
Hmm.
I remember when we went to Spawn, like we went over to Spawn 3, because I don't know if it was you that put down it was you or Schnitz that put down the bedrock for it.
I didn't, but I made the house beside it.
Yeah, you
You
made the real
also did the
house.
same thing. You did the same thing you did Spawn too, and you freaking
Put an
like
archway.
fairy dust. You fairy dusted it. You did your own thing with it. Like I
Yeah.
had a whole secret little room behind it, and there's all sorts of stuff going on.
I didn't
And
get
you
rid
were
of the
like, no,
secret room.
yeah, you did.
I don't think I
That's
did.
pre-time warp too.
Oh,
Time warp brought it back.
interesting. So, hmm. Project Cora was introduced during Spawn 2.
Mhm.
That's when I brought that on. I think.
Right, yeah, because that's where the arena is.
Yeah. And I remember Schnitz was, yeah, I already talked to Schnitz about that. I think I was, Deadly Chris and I were shooting fireballs at each other. This was before um, Spawn 2, before Project Cora. And then Schnitz pops up and he was just like looking at us and he was like, oh, what did he say? It was like some Harry Potter shit or something like that.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking that was when I first got the idea. I was like, what if I had like magic powers or something that I could do on the server? What if I threw on that plugin and only a certain amount of players knew about it? And I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender at the time, and I was like, I don't know. And I Googled it, and turns out there's a goddamn plugin for it, and you need another plugin to make it work. And I just literally threw it on there. That was early October.
I liked it, but I didn't know how to use it.
Yeah,
Like I
you liked it
barely
until
used
you didn't. Basically, that was a story that went down with everyone.
I mean, I didn't really care either way. It didn't improve or detract from the experience for me.
I think that
But I know
yeah,
KCal is like very survival oriented and you know, he's very vanilla and then like a lot of other players felt that way. I was like, I don't really care. I'm here for the builds.
here, can I pause real quick? I have to pee. Hold on, let me
Um,
hold on. I'll just like I don't know if I'm gonna edit this out or not, but like maybe you could talk about something while I'm gone. Hold on.
I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. Hi guys, welcome to
I
the
will
the
be the
shitty.
host for now. Wait, I'm the turtle on the desk. I will be the host for now. What subreddit did you find the server on?
um, the vanilla one because at the time he claimed it was like pure vanilla, so I was like, all right, whatever.
Uh, is it my turtle body?
I like turtle. If I could pet you, I would. I can't wait until the axolotl update.
Oh yeah, the cave update. You should talk about
I'm
Ask Player about that cave update.
I'm
Seems
pretty
very
ready.
exciting. And with the goats too. Goats are also coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm scared of goats, so I mean,
Well,
I'm not about that
they're
so
if
much.
you're in survival, they might ram you. In
Yeah,
survival and push you off a cliff,
I'm
which
scared of
is
horses and goats in real life.
because well,
I got
horses
but
kind of make sense because one kick could really do a lot of damage,
I grew
and
up with two
also
kids who got like bucked by horses, and they have these like giant scars on their face, like
oh,
scars like
host.
really big.
Yes, really big scars. Wait, was that him or
I don't know.
hello?
You should have just peed and continued the podcast.
Yeah, I should have
Like,
just done that, like 100%. Like just kept talking and like whatever, like because I have wireless headphones.
I
Um,
mean, I've been in BC and been in the bathtub before, so I mean, like,
yeah, I guess that's fine. Is Schnitz in the podcast? Do we want Schnitz in the podcast? Is that okay? Like,
I don't care.
I mean, we're talking about Spawn too, like so he's kind of
You
there
know
as
how
well.
many Fs I give? Zero.
I mean, I'm looking for him. I don't see him, so guess
He's
I'm
not
there.
here, but he's here. Look at him. There he is.
Oh, there he is. Schnitz, are you here? Are you part of this?
Why don't you be a fish, dude? There's something better than turtle. You can
I
be
guess not.
fish.
So what were we talking about? We're talking about Spawn 2. Um, we were talking about Project Cora.
Mhm.
What else happened during that Spawn 2 era? We had Kresnik was on. You built the uh that village that leads to the desert. What the trail that leads to the
That was
desert?
that was somewhat my doing too because I built the big house in the throne room.
He left in November.
Yep.
He was
I
like,
think he popped on sometime
really?
recently. I don't remember.
Well, that's what I was hoping for a lot was the return of old players, but you don't really see that. You know, I haven't seen any players, old players, really return as much as I thought they would, and like check out the server, which is interesting because you like I keep the map going because I want the memories to be there. You know, I want people to still be able to go back to Spawn 2 or wherever they were and, you know, be like, "Oh yeah, I remember this," you know. But when you do it all the time, it kind of ruins the sweetness to it, the
Yeah.
nostalgic vibe.
I mean, he's
So,
still on the Discord, so I mean,
yeah, I'm not worried about it. I mean, it's all people come and go. It's like, you know,
mhm.
I'd like to see him come back, just like I'd like to see any other player come back. Like
Yeah.
Nathan 78, you know, that had almost built his house all the like he was like 95% done with his house. He just had to finish his roof.
And then Schnitz griefed it.
And then Schnitz threw a bunch of his shit all over it, and I think he came on and he was like, "Fuck this," and he dipped.
Yeah.
Well, Schnitz, it was who? Okay, so that was during there was the Penguin Pack. There was all these little clans that started forming,
Yeah.
and yeah, that was interesting. Huh? Because who was it? It was Schnitz. Who else was doing that? Uh,
He
Super
has like a
Hammy.
crew.
hmm
You could literally look like at Penguin Pack, and that's like
Well, there were
who's.
other clans too.
Mhm.
There was you. You started the taco. Oh
I mean,
yeah. And
we
then
were non-violent.
Xeron. Oh yeah. And then I had to put an end to that. And that was also during Project Cora,
I mean, my taco club is still thriving. Like,
right?
who could argue with that?
Yeah. But hmm, yeah, there it is. I like how you made that.
Yeah, that was a custom banner. There's like a bajillion of them.
I'm kidding.
Took some brain cells, that one.
So we yeah, and then we talked about Project Cora, and we had um a lot of people who had all those different damn powers.
I
And
mean,
then
Spawn 3 was where like I had to take that big break because of work. I think it was Spawn 3. It might have been Spawn 4. I think it was like early Spawn 3. I had to take a break because
well, what I'm trying to do is like kind of go over like all the spawn, not really all the spawns, but that. But I built the path to spawn 3, and then you built the rule house, and
and then
then
there's your throne room that I built there. There's that little village question mark that I built with the asymmetrical house
yeah, I remember that.
and then there's the farmhouse. There's the what I was gonna make a shrine to K Cow, but like you took away my admin privileges. And
Yeah,
then there's there's all sorts of like little builds at Spawn 3 that I made. I
yeah,
mean, there's all sorts of stuff. There's like the hide and seek arena.
yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, was that Nymphadora built that bedrock maze? You remember that?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
That's
think it's
not
still
in
there.
Spawn 3. That's closer to Spawn 2.
It is closer to spawn 2. It's right in between. But it's more closer to spawn 2. Huh. Yeah, we had a lot of builds during Spawn 3. So huh. That was an epic era. That's why I kept it going for so long. So that was we started Spawn 3 and then KCAP built his domes. Um there was a
Then
few
they
other
were they were time warped.
and then they were time warped when we had the hard drive failure. That sucked. Then we
I
had to
mean, it
pull that
sucked, but
yeah.
You had
Keiko
used
quit.
my donations.
Keiko quit during that time. Are you filling the background behind me with?
There's only
Yeah.
2.
And there's melons. My God.
There's
Jeez.
only melons.
Oh my God. Anyway, God. Yeah, Spawn 3 was interesting. That's when Ratchet joined. He joined during the time warp. A few other people did, and KCal actually was one of the players that quit during after the time warp because of all of his shit being gone. And there was
Mhm.
like a down period because 1.15 just came out, and I couldn't really do anything until something got updated to 1.151 came out. Yeah, that was what it was. And something had to be updated, and I was like, this is a down period for this. And it was like 2 or 3 weeks in January that like I didn't advertise, I didn't do anything. And that was weird because I was advertising like twice a week, you know,
Mhm.
even during Spawn 2, during Spawn 1, you know.
And I had to like stop playing during January because of that. I was in between jobs
Right.
because I had moved to Maryland in like late January, early February,
Interesting.
and I had to like move twice to Maryland.
Wow. Yeah, that
Stupid.
was an interesting period for Trimbo. And then, I mean, that's when I started to notice Ratchet. He was on all the time, like literally. I mean, he put like
Mhm.
130 hours into the server, like in a couple of a couple of weeks. You know,
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
he like
shit.
he has a lot of really good stuff. Like
Yeah,
he's a phenomenal builder,
yeah.
and most of his stuff is not blueprinted. He just like brainstorms
It's
and
just
like puts it up.
improvised. Yeah.
Nobody cares about KCal, ain't KCal. You
Kickal's
have
not
like
even on right now.
I literally see him texting.
Oh, well, I'm not on the like I have F1 turned on, so I don't see anything on the server. There's no,
Rip.
yeah. So if he's talking, there's none of that. It's just it literally in the if you're listening to this, it's just you and I. If you're watching it, it's literally just you and I here. So, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, Spawn 3 was an era. We well, and I remember yeah, okay, Ratchet started playing. Um, that's when I made Schnitz, and I think I gave Schnitz a little bit more power during that time too, if I remember correctly.
I mean, the time warp, I think, was whenever you need him, right? Or was that,
I
or
can't
was it the
remember.
backup?
No, yes, it was because that's when the server went from being Windows based to Linux based. So the operating
Mhm.
system wasn't Windows 7 anymore. It was Linux. And I think that's literally when I basically handed the server over to Schnitz. I was like, "Here, take care of this thing." He's like, "Okay." That was January. That's insane. So,
Yep. It's been a hot minute.
it's been a hot minute. Holy shit.
Maybe you should actually celebrate their anniversaries.
Well, I don't know their exact dates.
You can literally just look it up.
How?
Like
On the Discord?
P like CO lookup player, and then you look at their last page. Like
Really?
COK. Oh, let me see if I could spell. He's not on the server, but like, let's see. K call.
KYCAUL. Yeah.
And then put like what? It's October now, so like 10 months. Or like 11 months.
He's been on the server for over a year.
This is gonna take a while.
It's whatever.
It's fine. But you get it. Like, you could potentially look it up, and like you can even look it up in Discord. Like look up like the first time he posted in general chat, because then you'll see where he first joined.
Well, let me get a little bit more personal with you. Well, how do you feel about the server?
I mean, it's not like I'm invested in it or anything.
I mean, you sort
I
of are.
donate $4.
That's an
It was
investment.
sarcasm. It was
Yeah,
sarcasm,
yeah,
boss.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I
your
think
opinion matters. You know, and it
I
has
I think to a certain extent things are taken too seriously, and then in other ways things are way too lax.
in the wrong
But
areas.
that's like, it's a personal opinion over like right or wrong on top of that, because like my my style of playing is not the same as like KCal, so his values and his interests and his bias are vastly different than mine.
Yeah,
You know? Like, I'm here to make funny builds and to interact with people, and that's just about it.
yeah.
And KCal is here to like play Minecraft, like real Minecraft.
And so that can
And
cause some controversy.
well, it's not really controversy, it's just a difference of opinion. He's like a different brain.
Well, it causes controversy when like, there's problems happening, like it's,
Mhm. I
you
mean, for
know,
the most part, like me and KCal agree on like staff and admin actions, and like, banning people and that sort of stuff. That's the important stuff. Like everything else, like, man, we should like add this like random mod, and no, we shouldn't add this
right.
mod. That's like not nearly as important as like maintaining the player base and making sure that they're happy, and like maintaining whatever they build, like protecting the player base.
So, what do you think should happen in order to do that, to protect the community and maintain a good player base? Because you already know we had an issue, a couple weeks ago when, Loco and Ratchet left.
Well, like, so the thing with Loco is she's a minor.
Hmm.
Like, you gave minors, which is like, you're also like having, and on top of that, like a difficulty, because minors, like I can tell you at like K Kyle's age, like I was like infinitely worse. Like, and like communication skills vary, especially with age. So like Loco, she's what, like 16,
Yeah,
you know, like being able to communicate effectively, like, hey, I'm uncomfortable and I need, like, my needs are not being met.
I see.
And like,
Yeah.
and that varies even with like, you know, gender. Because like the other day, Yowzers had an issue and he was able to like effectively communicate, like, hey, like I am upset. And he was comfortable enough to say, hey, I am upset and this really does not make me feel safe. Whereas like, I don't know, like females aren't really given those tools, like,
Okay.
and like not even just females, it's just like an age difference, a
Yeah,
societal difference, because like they're Canadian, we're American, like the society, like expectations, like teaching, all this
they
other
might be
like
different.
factors.
Those are all
Yeah,
factors.
and like everybody that Loco trusted were like also disinterested in the in the whole server, because they were just not happy. They were not getting what they needed and what they wanted.
Right.
And it's not your fault, it's not our fault, but you know, having the skill set to identify when somebody is being hurt, having the skill set to effectively communicate, like, hey, I'm a safe person to talk to and I will do my best to adhere to your needs is like difficult, especially like you're like 30, right? Like you're close to 30.
That's great.
Like
Don't say that. I'm not 30. I'm 26. Get out of here.
you're 30.
Oh my God. Don't say that. No,
You're
I'm
a
not.
millennial. You're literally a different generation than like the rest of the server.
Yeah, that's a fact. I understand that.
Like you are the adult. I
Yeah.
can't even drink, brother. Like like Ratchet is older than I am.
I thought
It's
you were 21.
no.
What the hell?
but to the effect, like even as a 30-year-old American, you're not really supplied with the skill set to make yourself the adult, you know?
I guess,
Like
yeah, I
that's
kind of understand.
complicated.
No, I understand what you're saying, but so my question is, what can be done in this situation? Like, what can we do to make things, what can we do to make things
I
better?
mean,
How do we change this?
there's also like a versus in the player base where like if you would say which what would be the correct response if you would say, hey, like if you're made uncomfortable, if there's something going on that has hurt you in some way, shape, or form, like sexual harassment, sexual abuse, etc., like
Let me know.
here are the people you can talk to and they won't harass you. Because not to bash Yowzers or Motorcycle or any of them, because like you're children, like I don't expect anything less or more. But like saying that Loco is a hypocrite is the reason why she didn't talk.
Hmm.
Like that is like the pinpoint.
There's another side of every coin. So
And
that's,
like
you
I
need to have a more open dynamic. And
like I was open with Loco and like she never voiced anything with me because like we'd not really contacted, and like at the time like she didn't really have a reason to stay. Like there wasn't a reason to stay for her.
yeah,
And that's fine because maybe she found something better. Like that's not good or bad. That's just like what happens.
yeah,
But you know, it's having like that balance is not hard, or it's not easy, but it's also not hard.
yeah. You have to, it's like it's a, once you go over too far on one edge, though, it's
You
hard
piss
to get
somebody
that
off.
back. It's like it's a balance. It really is. You have to, it's like you're on a line, and it's like a wire at a circus, like you have to,
Mhm.
if you fall too far onto one side, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get back onto that balance. And I think that's kind of where we are. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I feel like I'm not, I feel like
I
I'm
mean,
going too, like I'm advertising, so I'm trying to fill the pool.
mhm.
Like I'm trying to, water down the acid, if you will. So I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. I don't know what you
I
suggest.
I mean like there are people like that one player that was like, oh, I didn't read the rules, like I'd never seen it, and like if you would have seen the the Reddit advertisement, you would have seen the rules. So
Yeah.
like there are people who will lie and cheat. Like that's a given. But like I don't know, somehow like formulating like and like for your situational awareness, like hey, I'm we don't support sexual harassment here, and we don't support like making people uncomfortable and upset and unhappy here.
Voice that. I think we need to be more strict on everything. But that's my thing. Like, I never do that. And I think that's why the flow was so easy in the beginning because there wasn't that many problems. And I
I
don't know.
mean,
What do you think? Has it gotten better?
uh, it's just changed. I mean, effectively, people have gotten older, and Discord as a community has actually like been boosted. Like more people are using Discord now than ever before,
Yeah.
and with that always comes with un- unpredictable dangers. Discord is now notorious for like pedophiles, which is why I would like to you know kind of boost that. Hey, we don't support that here because we have, as a Minecraft server, you have an influx of minors.
That's an
You have an
interesting thing to address, though. It's so like taboo and abstract, especially the fact that I'm what you said 30 and everyone here is basically 10 years younger than I am. It makes me feel uncomfortable,
I
to
mean,
like
me
even talk about
as
that.
I deal with it on the daily. Like that's my job. Like I process like sexual assault, sexual harassment cases on the daily. That's my like literally what I do. So I hear like I interviewed a 12-year-old girl. It was last week, maybe the week before. And like, you know, I I hear that, I see that, and to have that to possibly happen here, and especially with Loco, because like you don't know where she came from and what's affected her and what's hurting
Yeah.
her. That's why I was kind of upset. Like, why are you guys calling her a hypocrite whenever like
You don't know what's going on here. Well, another thing is the people that are calling her a hypocrite aren't.
our minors? They're
Yeah,
like
they're all the
immature
same age. They're
people.
all the same age here, Like we're all dealing with people
So
that are
like
in
I
high
can't blame
school.
them.
Like you cannot get mad at someone for acting their age. Like you just can't. It's just not the way. And but at the same time, you can direct them and say, "Hey, this isn't what you really should be doing. You shouldn't. You
Mhm.
should. You should look at this at a bigger angle. You shouldn't jump to conclusions. You shouldn't shoot first and ask questions later, kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
it's that's
I mean,
that can be, and that's something you learn through time, and I think that's something that I am so passive, I just let things happen, and when
there's
chaos
two
ensues,
or three like easy solutions to the problem. I mean, you could open up a ticket system like, hey, like I've had an issue with either a player or staff. Here are my reasons. Here's why I opened the ticket, and have admins or ops be locked to that channel so nobody else can see it. You've now created a protected space where nobody else can see that, and they can voice their concerns. Done. Like
yeah.
you can't put like that's so sensitive that you wouldn't put that in like you wouldn't put that in like server issues like you know
And
like that's
yeah, that's another mistake I made is God, is like I was like when all this was going down, I was like basically reading out loud what these people were talking to me about. And it's
Mhm.
like, like openly talking about like what Loco said to me in front of everyone with Loco there. I'm sure that had a lot to do with why she wanted to leave as well. It's like, what the fuck? Like there's no security here. It's just so passive. And I'm thinking small community. I'm thinking 5 or 6 people. Like I don't know. It's weird, because it's like I don't know. I don't know where my brain is. I'll just say that. Like I'm not gonna make excuses. I don't know. I can't. I'm sorry. Like I don't know. Like
I mean it it's a number of problems, but you fixing them is all up to you.
yeah. It really
And I
everything boils down to me. So you gave me one suggestion. Like what else? Like I like that ticket system idea, and that would really come down to who wants to um listen to that and who's really going to be addressing that. And,
I mean,
it
it
seems
should be
like you
you.
really know. Well, I mean, yeah, me, but I mean, like it seems like you also really know what you're talking about here and you're an admin too. I mean, maybe you could help with that as well.
I mean, I don't mind. It's literally like of all the problems I've had to deal with in the last month, on top
Yeah,
of my move and transition, this is like not even the tip of the iceberg.
I understand.
So you're not really adding onto my workload. But, adding people who are not minors would probably help.
See, that's hard because I'm like, how do I do that? Like, how do I advertise to not minors, like to older people?
I mean, you literally have Schnitz who's 18, right?
Right.
And having somebody who's like
Well, I mean, he's still
kind
in.
of
That's the thing is he's still a part of that. Are we talking about something generational, or are we talking about like just like age difference between being a minor or not? Because like he's definitely a part of the same generation as, you know,
we're
K-Cal and
all part of the
motorcycle.
same generation. I'm a Zoomer too. I'm one of the older Zoomers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
if you want to make like a sensitive ticket system where it's like you, me, and like
one other
maybe
person.
some, yeah, just to make it so there's not like a tiebreaker, like I disagree with you, and here's why, but like have somebody there to like also bring a third opinion.
Yeah.
That that's not hard. Like it could be Josh, it could be like I don't know, meh. It could be
It
like
could be well, it
anybody.
has to be someone that's very trustable, that you
Mhm.
can like if there's a problem can be addressed, even at the smallest thing like so and so did this, it's yeah.
I mean, like I wouldn't mind asking Ratchet to come back as a tiebreaker for that. Like in case, like it could be a just in case, like
I don't
we
know if he
disagree.
would.
I mean, if it's like a situation where like somebody's like, ah, I'm being hurt, he would probably do it. Just to give like an outside opinion, because he's like very different from the both of us,
Yeah, he really
which is
is.
great.
He has a very different I hated losing Ratchet.
I still tell him I love you.
How's he doing?
Great. I mean, he's still like depressed that he doesn't have a job, but I mean,
I don't know much about his personal life. In him and his, IRL. I snoop ow. I still snoop on the server sometimes, like on his or on Josh's.
I go there all the time too. Like, I'm not just on Trimbo.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I go over
figured.
there to say hi and like say hi to Loco and Josh and build things. Like, I have like 3 or 4 builds there now.
That's good. Yeah, I actually messaged Josh. Well, him and I have been talking to each other um on and off a little bit, and I said I did want to kind of bring our servers to get like because I wouldn't mind kind of integrating both of our servers at one point, like just having like events together,
hmm
something like that.
I just don't see that being a successful endeavor here.
Yeah. Josh said he was thinking it was a good idea, and it was something I thought about the other night, and I ran it by him. Why
I
don't you
mean, we
think?
could definitely try it, but I just think the reason people left the server
See, that's
is
what
to like break away from the
I addressed that with him, and I was just like, listen, like a lot of people left exactly that. A lot of people left my server because they wanted to break away from Trimbo, and I was just like, you want to run that by your players or anybody before we really implement this, and he didn't message back. So,
I mean, maybe he's just like conflicted about it. He's also very young.
yeah,
Like make decision making isn't something young people do very well.
yeah, well, you know,
I'll
whatever.
admit it. I'm bad at making decisions. It takes me like an hour in the grocery store because I can't pick which meat packet I want to pick up.
So you have to have a pragmatic mindset.
I don't.
It's interesting, like developing that kind of thing is, I don't know. It's
If there's not some sort of regulation following it, I don't know how to make decisions.
I see.
Like everything I do at work is like, this is what you do in this case, and this is why and how and who you go to do this thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Oh.
It is what it is.
So we talked about the server a lot. Interesting. You have any other comments to make on that? I know, because you've been on the server, forever, and you've been an extreme part of the server for a long time, and I think, at one point you did become a little chaotic, and I think that, like I said, that boils down to the fact that, I mean, it comes down to boredom, and you were on the server the longest, and you see, like, at the time, it's interesting because at the time you were one of the first people that I, like, really trusted during, like, Spawn 2. Like, you were one of my main admins, like, and you were always on top of shit. It was kind of cool. And then Spawn 3 came around, and it seemed like you were very chaotic, and you didn't really, like, I would tell you something, and it was strange, it was an odd time, and yeah.
I was also not emotionally there.
And that's fine. And then, see,
I
what I was
literally
going to
told you
address
this.
was the hypocrisy thing. So after you started to become chaotic, other admins started to become chaotic, and I did not address that at all. And it was like, I think it was because they all started to sort of do it at the same time. And I wasn't really involved with the server toward the end of Spawn 3. I don't know. I don't know why and I think it had a lot to, I mean, it really did have a lot to do with the fact that you were one of my first admins. And I paid attention to you a lot more.
I mean, I'm very visible. I don't lie. I don't hide things.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of times, like, Schnitz crashed the server, or, like...
Yeah, and I didn't do anything about that. I think, I do, here's the thing is, like, I think I identified you as something that was chaotic when you weren't actually being chaotic a lot more than other players. And
I mean, I'm visible.
I think no, I owe you an apology for that, because that's not cool. I do need to address other players a lot more. Like this shit going on right now, like, oh, well, look at that. That's funny. But,
I mean, I have a problem with letting people roll over me, so, I mean, it kind of forced me to address this with my therapist. So, I guess it was something. Something good came out of it.
But, so, yeah. So this server is significant enough for you.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't stay here.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Like, if it hurt me enough to stay, I would have left. I don't keep things that hurt me in my life.
Right.
Like, I literally don't talk to my parents very much. Like, I don't connect with people at home. I don't allow, like my old supervisor at my old position at Fort Sill, like, they used to, like, say things that were, like, super offensive, and, like, like, my EO, like, I EO'd them, like, 3 or 4 times and nothing ever happened. And then it finally got to the point where I, like, reported it to legal command instead of rep command, and it had to do something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I literally, like, left that position ASAP because of that.
Interesting.
So, like, I value this server over my own mental health, if that says anything.
Yeah. Well, I like I said, I mean, like, and you hit the nail. You hit the nail on the head when you were talking about the community. That's the whole reason why I started the server, was to build a community, and I think we have one. Um, and I think it's changed through time. Like, I mean, you can look at. We were talking about this. You can look at spawn 2. You can just look at spawn 3. You can look at spawn 1. They were all different. You know, the people that were there were different. What was going on was different. You know, like everything, like just the idea of just the air, the vibe. You know, like yeah, they were all a different flavor of
Mhm.
Trimbo. So yeah,
I mean, and like to expect it to maintain the same energy next year is like kind of a fool's dream, because like KCal will have gone up a grade. He'll be a year older.
yeah,
Schnitz will be a year older. I'll be a
yeah,
year older. Like, I will, this time next year, I will not be in this position for 100%.
yeah.
I will be going back to school, so maybe I'll have more time for the server instead of,
Things will be
having to
different.
listen.
And I mean, I don't know where I'm gonna be in a year. You know, like what am I gonna do? Like right now in my life, I'm in a very strange place. It's looking very good for the future. You know, I might, just contact my brother and like I might just build another server, and then
Mhm.
just tell my brother to ship over the hard drive and throw it on there and I'll host it at my place again. And up here in Fort Collins we got gigabit internet, so I mean the lag
Mhm.
would never be a problem again. um
I mean, like, if I ever have to go overseas, I'd just give you mine, and you can wipe it and do whatever the fuck you want with it. Like, I
no I
literally, whenever
I
I was supposed to deploy last year, I literally offered. I was like, I'd send you my like fucking 800 some dollar PC just to run the server off of it, because it's like water cooled. It's got like 16 gigs of RAM, like over a terabyte of memory.
no when you
Be
come
just
back
fine.
I'm gonna have to. Are you ever, when you're deployed, you're not gonna be on the server
At
for like.
all? No. A
Wow.
year. Like at least 6 months, but or no, it's at least 9 months.
Wow.
It'll be fun. I want to go fight some desert. Fight the dust.
you
Isn't there
think
a
you'd
song like
you
that?
think you'd come back to the server after a year?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably. If it's still here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it going. I might do what Josh is doing, and like after a while, if like I'm like I don't know, if I migrate away from the server, I might just host it on like some server hosting site for like whatever,
Hmm.
$20, $30 a month.
I mean, mine is running off of $5 a month, and it's like it runs fine.
Yeah, I want a lot of RAM.
I got some RAM.
I want like 16 gigs. Well, maybe 10. 10
I
will
want a
do.
pickup truck.
You want a pickup truck?
A RAM.
Yeah,
Dodge pickup trucks kind of slap though.
that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not a truck guy. I have a Jeep.
You
That's
have a
what I drive
Gladiator?
around. No, a Grand
R-
Cherokee.
Rip.
It does a job.
This a-hole who's in the apartment adjacent to mine, he's got this Gladiator. He fucking revs it everywhere. Like,
Yeah,
small penis, but like,
Jesus.
keep it to yourself.
Yeah, just gotta let everyone know.
Hmm. maybe it's like a signal to all women who are into that.
I mean, like if those types of people attract each other, then let them come together. But then they breed,
Yeah. And then they
and
make more.
they make more of those people. Yeah.
Hmm. I have a Toyota Camry.
Oh my God, I had two of those. I had a '97 Camry for so long. Then I got T-boned.
It's hot.
It was crazy. I was talking to my ex my current girlfriend at the time. She's my fiance, I think, at the time. No, she's my girlfriend. I was going across the red light, and the whoop, boom, just smacks right into me. And I was like, I just got hit by a fucking car.
I haven't wrecked yet, which is a blessing and surprising. Mhm. It's pretty great. I got an '07 powder blue Camry. It's pretty cute.
Shit. Yeah. Huh.
You wanna do a tour of my bullshit?
Sure.
Where are we going first, boss?
That's up to you. You want to do a tour.
I mean, we're also like slowing down on the podcast, so
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little stoned, so I'm trying to keep it together. Let's see. So we were this is Spawn 5. For those of you who are watching this in the future. That's what we're looking at right now. Yeah. So in like 3 years when you're on YouTube and you're like, let me look at those old podcasts. Oh shit. Man, I remember that. You're looking at the good old days right now. And my lag is real.
You like my fountain that you broke
I didn't
just so
break
it
it.
wouldn't
I just didn't want to pour the water.
you
And
broke it.
funny enough, the KCal built this giant ass tower right here, and this fucking bridge is just right in front of spawn, just in your face. I mean,
Mhm.
whatever, it works. Like, I guess. Kind of feel bad about your tower now. I sort of want to get rid of those blocks and let you flow your free water, but I mean, they would pour all over everything. You have to have it like pour onto something.
I could make a pool or something.
It's right under my house. I guess you could renovate that. You can get rid of all these trees.
You could have an aquarium house.
You're into aquariums. That was a thing.
Uh,
That was since Spawn 1.
Yeah, and you kept like fucking up my aquariums. You're like, oh, I can make it better, and then it's like gone. Like my fish are gone.
I think that was because I did like dash kill because I remember I got on and Loco Lena and Zeron messaged me and he was like, I made a mistake. I spawned like a lot of fish. And he was like, I had my auto clicker on, just let my computer go, and I came back and I forgot it was on. And I came back and I deleted
That
like
might.
4,000 fish. God, that lagged up the server so much.
There's all sorts of stuff. There's like a whole bunch of like Spawn 5 builds that I like went unfinished. There's the moon. There's like that the
TPD,
well, I'm going towards the moon.
the moon. I don't know what that is.
The moon. It's just a house. It's a moon.
Oh, I see it. Huh.
That's that the guy that I like rage banned earlier today.
Yeah,
This is the house he one of the houses he goofed. He was like, I thought it was like some randomly spawn generated build, and I was like,
you're an
does this
idiot.
look? Does this? That's so stupid. I don't get it. Here's my another tower farm and all sorts of like Like, I hid a bunch of pixel art so you wouldn't see it. Like, there's this one.
Oh my God. No, that's fine. Like outside of spawn is fine. But that's
I
really
mean,
good. I love that.
there's a couple over here too. There's like a watermelon and sushi. Like, here's watermelon, and there's sushi.
Oh my God.
I was gonna start one over here, but I didn't want to. Where was it? I lost it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You've deleted so many of my pixel arts. I'm kind of mad
I
about it still.
haven't actually. No, I deleted a few in Spawn 2, but I moved them all. Like I
You
would
still
just move them
deleted
somewhere.
them.
I mean, I would delete them from the spawn, yeah, because I don't like pixel art in people's faces. All right, I'm gonna go back to spawn.
Warp spawn 3. Because I know where you put one of them. I'm still mad about it. You didn't leave my heart alone.
Oh yeah. Hold
You
on.
fucked up my aquarium here. I don't know. I actually don't know who fucked that one up. It could have been you or it could have been somebody else.
Actually got griefed and I drained it and I just left that the way it was.
Yeah, the Pokeballs over here. I
I
think.
told you I moved it over here. Yeah, the heart was here. I didn't mess that up. That was Alpha Wolf.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mind it because it kind of looked funny.
Yeah. We had the
Warp.
insane spawn or the insane griefing at spawn. God, that
Like,
was
this was the one that got grief constantly. Like, Spawn 2 and Spawn 3 are, like, notorious for getting griefed.
yeah. Yeah, they were griefed a little bit.
I wonder what that was.
It was, I don't know, maybe it was the constant advertising. So, believe it or not, if you TP to me, this house right here is at Spawn 2 and Spawn 1. This this was the first house that anyone built on my server. Um, and I copied it. It's somewhere in Spawn 2. I can't remember where, and it's also in Spawn 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not a Spawn 4 though.
It's probably a good thing.
Maybe. Maybe it was like the bad omen. Maybe the reason why Spawn 4 sucked is because I didn't put that house there. Maybe Spawn 5 isn't going to do as well as it could have.
I mean, Spawn 5 already, like, kind of slaps, though.
You think so?
I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah. I just haven't been as active.
I mean, you don't see anything because you're not active.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to... What else did you want to look at?
I mean, there's all sorts of things. There's, like... I mean, there's, like, aquarium at Spawn 3, but I think somebody oofed it. No? Well, somebody did oof it, but they tried to fix it. I mean, there's my giant watermelon
Let me
I
see
made
that.
for Kcal. Somebody protected it by barrier blocks.
Oh, yeah. I remember. You made that? No kidding.
There's the farmhouse that's down this way. What's that? When did that come here?
Hmm.
What is this? What the heckers is this? Oh, there's nothing in there. I'm gonna lose some
Interesting.
treasure.
Oh, this? I remember when this showed up. I don't know who made it.
Here's the farmhouse.
Yeah.
This is close to being one of my favorite builds.
Yeah, I always liked this build. It was kind of iconic.
It's kind of
Because you come
wacky.
down over here, you kind of see it. What's a house with a big tree that went through it?
Oh, the wedding, the chapel
Yeah,
wedding thing. Who was it like Josh and Schnitz that got married?
I think so.
Yeah.
God, that was funny.
You want to see their like their house that I built for them as a
Sure,
honeymoon house?
sure.
It's this blue one up here.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And then there's this village that I constructed.
Yeah, I remember this.
This was
I
a
always liked
depression
this.
build.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. So there's some emotion attached to it.
a
You
little
come
bit,
by
yeah.
it, you're like, got
Mm-hmm.
that little tidbit, and as you come by, you're like, oh yeah, I know that.
There was, where is that underneath portion?
There's an underneath portion.
No, there's something I built underneath this little area that got oofed or something. Oh, this, yeah. I was gonna put something here, but I don't remember what it was gonna be.
Oh yeah, this area.
It's supposed to be something.
Hmm.
There's all sorts of like random things. It's like I don't want to finish this, and so I just like
Yeah.
leave it. There's all my map arts.
Oh yeah, let's check those out. Burger.
Here's postcard. And drugs. And then there's Josh's new one with Pyramid Head on it.
Oh
I
yeah.
think.
Josh made this?
The one with Pyramid Head, yeah.
Huh. Which
And then
Josh?
there's
Josh or Josh?
Josh.
Oh.
And then there's Space.
It was like space. You know, KCal mentioned that he doesn't like how a lot of these are built in creative because he's all survival.
He
Is
can
this working?
actually go. He can actually go. Go to school or something. I don't care.
What what's this?
Which one?
A white build.
That was gonna be a B, but then I lost the the guide to it. So I'll probably have to like remake the map guide.
Yeah. Who built it? This you built this house, right? On top of the hill.
Yeah, I made it for Glowfish.
Oh. Glowfish just hasn't been on for a while. You know them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. All right. You want to go back to the podcast room?
I guess.
Or wrap this up or whatever. In about an hour and a
I
half.
suppose. I'm surprised it's not like 3 hours long. You could probably get all sorts of shit out of me.
Yeah, we'll probably do another one. I need to do I need to get Timmer's podcast out of the way.
I mean, you me and Timmer because our
Say that again?
history is very much me and Timmer. Like I basically griefed him for the first couple months he was on the server. Like I'd like spam postcard or something, or
Oh my god. It's
like
funny.
there's like his house is covered in space.
Alright, get rid of that. There we go. Hey,
It's
who's that?
Gammer,
Right on. Has he been here this whole time? He's just been chilling there?
I suppose.
It's funny. There we go. Yeah. So how do you feel about the player base right now?
I mean, it's kind of stagnated a little bit, but I mean, it's hard finding people who will like VC as much as like a group that's been established since pre the server.
Yeah.
Like Motorcycle, KCal, Timmer, Gamer,
Yeah.
the server was a thing.
Say that. So you cut out there. So they've been around here since before the server was a thing. That's what you said.
Yeah, so like they have an established group,
Yeah.
whereas you're kind of like pushing people to create connections out of nothing. Like we didn't voice chat until like a month and a half, maybe 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was all. We all kind of grew together. That was the thing is everyone that's on the server now all kind of grew together at the same time, and so
Hmm.
that's a bond that you have, I think.
Yeah.
Huh.
Why is that happening?
So your suggestions for the server would be to open up a ticket system. That's what you said. What else were you had talked to my players openly about what we can about being able to talk to me and other people and letting players feel
Hmm.
more comfortable, establishing more of a community.
And the react roles would also be appreciated
The
for
what?
like the react roles for like pinging people randomly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be that's a little that's a suggestion that we should just implement.
I mean, there are like multiple bots that will do that for you.
Just like upvote shit, basically.
Yeah, like have like a crew like, hey, like I'll ping you and you updoot.
Oh,
Because
yeah, I'd
I'll
like to
updoot.
establish that.
Okay, look. I'm gonna look at Reddit right now. And let's see. You know who that one person is?
Say that
Take
again?
Okay, so the last post that you made on MC Vanilla servers,
Yeah,
you know how many updoots
probably got like
there are?
one.
And you know who it is?
Who?
Me.
You. Yeah.
Nobody does it. You're like literally preaching to like a choir who's not gonna fucking listen to you.
No kidding. All right. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That would be a good idea. But I mean, you also have to trust that these people are gonna, updo.
Hmm.
So I mean,
I mean,
like that'll get boring.
I updoot every time. I am loyal. I'll even use my second Reddit account to updoot again. Just have two updoots.
I really appreciate that. Hmm. Yeah, T, you're one of the most loyal players we've had on the server, and I don't think I recognize that enough. So yeah, I really appreciate that.
You're making me blush.
Well, it's true though. Like I mean, shit, you donate to the server. I mean, you're extremely involved with the community. I mean, everything that you suggested today has been all completely really good suggestions. Like there's nothing wrong with any of them, and if they get implemented, they could do so much more good than harm. I mean, no harm at all is the case here.
I mean, I would really like Nugget bought back, but like I have no hope for that one.
Yeah, yeah, that's a. We'll see what happens. Like that might change. We'll see because that could change things. In the world. We could move mountains with NuggetBot.
I mean, I've like used React robots before. Like I know how they work. I know how to implement them. They're not hard. They're literally like if you look on their like step by step how to implement them.
On the website, they give you step by step. Yeah, you have been cutting out a little bit here and there. I think that's my internet mostly, but yeah,
Internet.
I know. I need to get good internet. That's another reason why I haven't been uploading the podcast like I should be, is because I don't have good internet. So what I want to do is I want to get a thumb drive and then just go to work and upload them there.
I mean, you
And
could
just
just
can't
take your
find it.
laptop to work too.
I could just take my laptop to work too. That would be an idea, but it's expensive, you know. So
Eh.
I don't want to like drop it on the concrete and that's it. I would
You know what
cry.
you know how you don't drop it on the concrete? You get a
How?
laptop bag. I don't
I guess
leave my
so.
office building with my laptop without the laptop bag.
I have a backpack.
Does it have the funny like padding for the
Yeah.
laptop?
It
There you
does.
go, man.
And then I could do it there. Still considering the thumb drive thing. I need to find my thumb drive. It's somewhere around here.
I have a funny hard drive somewhere.
Yeah. A funny hard
Like
drive.
that one's got a bunch of photos on it from like old Spawn.
Really?
I don't know where it is though.
No kidding.
Actually, I might.
Everyone like that. That's what always happens. You get photos or something and you change your hard drive and you can never find it again. Or
Because when I
damn.
first started the server, I didn't have the Beefcake PC. I was like running on like a thin and light Dell XPS.
Really?
So like
Wow.
it was not a good experience.
Well, I mean, you stayed on the server for a minute, so I mean, I guess that experience was good enough.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't like just leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll probably call it quits then. I think yeah, I've run out of things to talk about. That's my that's my excuse right now. And I'm just like tired. This is like the time I go to bed, you know. I'm like tired, you know. I'm just
You you,
like
you want me to tell you something?
mm,
It's midnight here.
no kidding.
Yeehaw, brother. But I don't
Yeah.
have to go back to work on Friday, so tomorrow can be
Nice.
chill.
Right on.
And since I don't have to move, I have enough money set aside to buy Red Bull, so I can buy some Red Bull tomorrow.
Right on.
I
There you
had
go.
budgeted so hard that like I was just gonna use all like my backlog food that I haven't eaten because it's like non-perishable, and I was gonna like like not buy food, ignore all the needs. So like my cars needed um like an alignment done,
Yeah.
and I've been putting it off because of this
Yeah.
move.
Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, that's yeah, that'll cause problems down the line.
Mhm. I'm
But
taking it tomorrow.
right on.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
that's
using it to
cool.
get out of work.
Do it. That's always
They won't
good.
care. As long as one of my coworkers there, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if the chief will be there tomorrow.
Alrighty, well, it's been good talking to you, T. This has been fun. We'll
Yeehaw,
do
brother.
this again. Maybe we'll like bring more people along or something next time. I don't know. You know, we'll
Zeron.
Oh, that would be insane. I've never heard if we could get Xeron on a voice chat with us.
I've voice
That
chatted with him before.
really?
Yeah, whenever you remember that one guy that like absolutely tore up my base and like would like absolutely just ignore. He would like, I didn't do that, but like he would like core inspect and see it. The
I
first time
don't
Xeron crashed the server was we were revenge griefing that guy,
really.
and he
Nice.
left and never came back.
Well, that's justifiable.
I mean, it was pretty bad. It
Yeah.
took a lot. I think he like griefed Loco.
Oh, that's funny. All right,
Oh,
T. Well, we'll see you next time.
good
So,
night,
good night.
bitch.